How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today, we're going to battle versus Fishy in what looks like the OU tier. Friendly reminder to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. We are on our way to 20,000 by the end of the year, so I'd love for you to be part of that journey. So looking at their team, I'd say Rampardos doesn't do too great because, I mean, they have the Rillaboom for the Grassy Glide, they've got the Great Tusk, the Corviknight, the Iron Valiant to an extent, and the Alolan Ninetales. So Rampardos is the least valuable player, but I think we should lead with Galvantula anyway, because it looks like they're going to lead with something like the Rillaboom maybe, or something along those lines. So I'm going to lead with Galvantula, try and get them Sticky Webs up straight away because they'll be useful, and then we'll just kind of go from there. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Fishy. So they're going to lead off with whatever that is, which is the Iron Valiant, as we lead off with Galvantulus, the Galvantula. So are they going to pop a booster energy straight away? They're not. So what are they going to go for? I'm going to go for the Sticky Webs just to get them up on their side of the field. So they do go for it for a Moonblast, which is fair enough. That's going to take us right down to our Sash nearly, as we go for a Sticky Webs, and they're now up on their side of the field, which is great. So now I gotta think, what do I have to switch into this thing? And I'm gonna have to go with the Milotic. And the reason I'm gonna go Milotic is because A, we can definitely take a Moonblast. B, if they lower our special attack, we'll get a competitive boost. So that's what I'm leaning towards. And we don't know what item they are either yet. They could be Choice Specs, and if the Choice Specs, then Corviknight's the best switch. If not, then so be it. But I know Milotic can definitely take a hit from this thing, no problem. So let's see how this works out. So they go for a Moonblast. It's gonna bounce off us. It does. It doesn't lower our special attack, which is unfortunate. I would have liked that to get the competitive boost, but it is what it is. And now we'll see if they switch up moves, and we'll go for a Flip Turn. Flip Turn will be an interesting way to scout to see what they're going to do. They do go for a knockoff, which is interesting. So they are a mix set, as we now go for said Flip Turn. And now we know they're not Choice Scarfed or Choice Specs or Booster Energy. We can just switch in something that's faster than the Iron Valiant. For example, absolutely nothing on our team. So, I'm leaning towards Dragon Dance Gouging Fire. I'm also leaning towards Corviknight, but we don't know whether they've got Thunderbolt or not. So I'm mainly going to go into Alolan Ninetales now. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Alolan Ninetales may scare out the Iron Valiant, so they may switch out. They might not at the same time. They might just go Corviknight. I think Corviknight's a good switch. So I'm going to go for an Aurora Veil. So they go for another knockoff, which is unfortunate because it means they're going to knock off our Light Clay. As it means our Aurora Veil is not going to last nearly as long as it would normally. But at least the Aurora Veil is up, so we can definitely take a hit or two from this thing. And now I'm leaning towards Moonblast. I am leaning towards Moonblast right now. They are going to withdraw this turn, though. They're finally switching out. And they're going to go into Meow, which is going to be what? Corviknight. Corviknight comes in. We go for a Moonblast. Hopefully they're not Mirror Armor. That'd be unfortunate. They're not, which is great. So now we can switch out. I'm leaning towards seeing... I feel like they go for a Defog here, so I am going to go into my Galvantula. So there we go, Galvantula comes in. And then, obviously, the Corviknight can either take us out, or it can go for a Defog here. And I think it might be Defog. But no, they are Iron Defense. Okay, so fair enough. So they must not have Defog on this thing. It must be Rapid Spin on Great Tusk. So I'm going to go for a Volt Switch here. They do withdraw. Are they going to go into the Great Tusk? That's the real question. Utility, which is going to be the Great Tusk. The Great Tusk comes in. We go for a Volt Switch. Obviously, it fails. But it's fine because we can now go for a Energy Ball. Energy Ball should do some damage here. So let's go for it. Let's go for the Energy Ball. There we go. I suppose I could have Terra Ghosted as well, but don't matter now. As they go for a Rapid Spin, that's going to nearly take us out, unfortunately. But it isn't quite enough to get the KO. As now, I'm going to save Galvantula for later. And the Aurora Veil wears off as well this turn. That's great. I'm going to save my Galvantula for later, and I'm going to go straight into Corviknight here. So there we go, withdrawing our Galvantula. We're going to go into Corviknight to wall the ever-loving crap out of this Great Tusk. There we go. Lovely jubbly. As they go for another Rapid Spin to try and get some more speed, which makes a lot of sense. But they are going to get some Rocky Helmet chip now. As there we go. So that's great. Now, we can probably expect them to go Corviknight of their own. So I am going to go for a... do I have priority on this team? I don't think I do I? No, I don't. I am going to go straight for the KO with a Brave Bird, as they actually go for a Stealth Frogs, which is interesting. So they have now lost their Rapid Spinner, but we need to get a Defog off, because otherwise Galvantula cannot come back in and get that Sticky Web up. So Brave Bird comes through. There we go. Down goes the Great Tusk, which is a great start to the game. Great Tusk is a brilliant Pokemon. In Smogon terms, it's number 2 in usage for the OU tier at the moment, behind King Gambit. So it's a very good Pokemon. So in comes Master, the reliable partner, which is the Volcarona. So Volcarona is terrifying. Definitely don't want to play around with this threat. Definitely don't want to play around with this threat. That's for sure. Do we go Gouging Fire here, or do we go Milotic? Because if they, we don't know what they're gonna do. I think Milotic is an appropriate switch, so I'm going to go for it. I feel like they go straight for the attack because they can't risk the Brave Bird. Brave Bird will do a lot of damage to the Volcarona, especially if they're an offensive variant instead of a bulky variant. So let's see how this plays out for us as they do go for a Will-O-Wisp. So Will-O-Wisp is an interesting choice. Looks like more of a support Volcarona. They probably have Quiver Dance as well. The Will-O-Wisp is probably there just for crippling physical walls, which makes a lot of sense. So now we're in a very good position, to the point where I'm actually going to go for a flip turn here. They are going to withdraw, so I went for a flip turn, which is the right play to go for. That's great for us as they go into Meow, which is going to be the Corviknight. So Corviknight, I'm wondering if they're Rocky Helmet or not. Well, Corviknight comes in. We're going to get some Rocky Helmet chip, but this is great because it means we can bring our own Corviknight in and go for a Defog right now, which is what we want because the Stealth Rocks need to go. So we'll bring Corviknight in. There we go. Corviknight comes through. There we go. Stones are going to dig in, which is unfortunate, but now we get a free Defog off on whatever we want to go on for Defog on. Defog comes through. There we go. Get rid of those Stealth Rocks. The Mirror Armor is going to backfire it, but it doesn't matter as their Pointed Stones are going to disappear, which is great. They go for a U-turn, though, which is going to give them some Rocky Helmet chip. There we go. Rocky Helmet chip can't be helped. And then they're going to go back probably into Volcarona, I would say, because I'm guessing the Iron Valiant doesn't have Thunderbolt at this point. Yeah, Master comes in, which is the Volcarona, right? So there we go. Volcarona looks so cool in this game. I love Volcarona in this game. So, do I stay in and go for a ballsy Brave Bird switch, or do I sack off my Milotic? I think I sack off my Milotic. So that's what I'm going to do. We can still use the Galvantula for the likes of the Alolan and the Corviknight. So I definitely want to keep that around. So we'll bring in my Milotic real quick. They do go for a Quiver Dance, which is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. This thing could sweep us. This thing could very well sweep us. Because we're burned. And Milotic was our answer to this. So I'm going to go for a Scald now, just to get as much damage off as possible. They do go for a Fiery Dance though, which is going to take us out, no doubt. Yeah, and is it going to give them a special attack boost? No, it doesn't. That's great. So that's fantastic that it didn't give them a boost. But what do we do here? What do we do here? I think the answer is simple. We can either go... I think Rampardos is the answer. Because here's the thing. They're probably going to go for a Giga Drain on us. So I'm going to Terra Flying, and then I'm going to Rock Slide this thing. Oh, they're going to Terra as well. Okay, so what type are they Terraing into? Hopefully a Grass type. Hopefully it's Grass and not Water. It's Grass. Okay, so that's good. Grass type is great. That means they're probably going to go for a Giga Drain here. Which, in our terrestrialized flying form, we should be able to take and then KO this thing with a Rock Slide. Hopefully. Really depends on what set they are. I feel like they're bulky and they're going to take the Rock Slide though, so hopefully they don't, but it is what it is. So there we go. Terrestrialized into a flying type with balloons on our head. They go for a Will-O-Wisp, which is unfortunate. I really hope they would just go for the attack there. I really did hope they would go for the attack there. As we go for a Rock Slide now, and that's going to do diddly squads. So, they probably have Grass Stab. And they have Will-O-Wisp and Quiver Dance. So and we know they have Fiery Dance. So, they probably have a Grass Stab, and they don't have a Morning Sun. So, I think as much damage as we can get off is the best we can do. So, Fiery Dance comes through. Takes us out, no doubt. Yep, there we go. Down goes Rampardos as they get a special attack boost. So, now we know what set they are. Rampardos did alright, to be fair. It's weakened it. That's the important part. It's weakened it. Now we just go Gouging Fire. Gouging Fire can definitely take this thing on. So Rampardos wasn't doing much against their team anyway, so it's not a big deal. Not bothered about Rampardos going down. So I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz straight up. I do not want to mess around with this Volcarona after it's got Quiver Dance up. So they are going to withdraw. They're probably going to go into the Alolan. Meow comes in, which is going to be Corviknight. So they sack off Corviknight instead of going to the Alolan. And down it goes. So Gouging Fire claims another soul, which is amazing. So there we go. There we go. So Corviknight being out of the way is amazing for us. Okay, in comes whatever that is. It's probably the Alolan. Iron Valiant comes in. Okay, so Iron Valiant Moonblast is going to hurt like a truck. I think we can take it with Corviknight though, so I'm going to go Corviknight. I'm assuming they don't have Thunderbolt, otherwise they would have used it earlier, but they didn't, so I'm assuming they don't have it. Because they're more of a mix set, so they probably have Moonblast, Knockoff, Close Combat, Aurora Sphere, and then maybe something else. So they go for a Moonblast, does nothing to us, which is great. And now I'm going to go for a Roost just to scout, see what they do. They do withdraw. And they're probably going to go Volk, right? Master comes in. There we go. Yes, Master. Yes, Master. Okay. I don't know why I said that like that. That was weird. But anyway, we got our health back, which is always a good start. And now they probably go for a burn. So I'm going to go for the Gouging Fire once again. There we go. Withdrawing our Corviknight, because we can still use that for later against the Rillaboom and the Iron Valiant as well, as we know now. We'll go into Gouging Fire. They do go for a Fiery Dance, which is going to sting a little bit, but it is 4 times resisted, so just a little tiny sting like an ant sting. But then again, ant stings hurt, so I don't know about that analogy. So let's see what we can do here. So I'm leaning towards Dragon Dancing. I'm leaning towards predicting the switch. I think I'm going to go for a Dragon Dance. So we go for a Dragon Dance. What are they going to do here? Because they've stayed in. We could have took this thing out easily. They go for another Fiery Dance. So there we go. The Fiery Dance coming through. They're just sacking off their Volcarona at this point. I'm not sure why, though, because it's still really useful to use. But at the same time, it is what it is. So let's go for a Flare Blitz. They do withdraw this turn. They're going to go Alolan Momola right now. Surely. Atramola. That's going to be the Alolan Momola. I can never say the name. Alolan Momola. Let's go for a Flare Blitz anyway. Still does some decent damage, to be fair. But we can definitely use Vesuvius later on down the line for the Volcarona still, because we've still got some HP left, as they're going to force us out of a red card anyway. What are they going to bring in, though? Hopefully Galvantula. That'd be nice. Yes, it's Galvantula. Okay, cool. Galvantula comes out. Now we've got something to go for Sticky Web on, or Volt Switch. They probably switch out here, so I'm going to go Sticky Webs. Sticky Webs comes through. Hopefully they don't KO us with Flip Turn right now. Flip Turn comes through. Yeah, it still KOs us. That's fine. Anyway, Galvantula's got Sticky Webs up. That's going to be good enough for me. It means the Rillaboom is slower. It means the Iron Valiant is slower. The Volcarona is slower. All in preparation for a new Pokemon to come in and claim the glory. So in comes Grizzy the Unrivaled, which is going to be the Rillaboom. Caught in the Sticky Webs, which is great. Absolutely fantastic. They're going to get that Grassic Surge up, which is great as well. And now I'm leaning towards Corviknight. I think Corviknight is the play. Yeah, Corviknight is the play. So we're going to go Corviknight. I guess I could have gone Ninetales, but I want to keep that around for the Alolan Momola. So I'm going to go for a Brave Bird now and just straight up. They do stay in, so we'll go for Brave Bird. Get some damage off on the Rillaboom, which is great. Corviknight still hits like a truck, which is amazing. As they go for a Low Kick, which is going to do minimal damage to us. Minimal damage. But it's fine. So in the current situation, I'm going to go for a U-turn, expecting them to go Alolan Momola, but they actually stay in and take it like a champ. Not really. Not really. Not really. So Rillaboom goes down, which is fantastic. This is looking to be a pretty close game. So we'll get Corviknight out of there. And we'll go into... I'm thinking Ninetales. I am going to go Ninetales, actually. I'm going to go Ninetales. Get that Snow up real quick. And then we'll get the Aurora Veil up as well, which will be really helpful. But it really depends on what this what they're going to do. They'll probably go Volcarona, right? Yeah, they go Volcarona, which is fair enough. Volcarona is fair enough. We definitely switch out here into our Vesuvius. Because even if they go for a Quiver Dance here, we can still eat up a Fiery Dance. And we'll also get some Grassy Terrain recovery as well. So I think this is the right play. So they go for a Fiery Dance. We're going to eat that up. 4 times resisted and all that. There we go. They don't get a special attack boost, which is nice. And then what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to... Do we Dragon Dance here? Yeah, we Dragon Dance here. We definitely Dragon Dance. They're going to withdraw. And in comes whatever that is, which is going to be the Iron Valiant. So the Iron Valiant comes in. We go for a Dragon Dance right now. And I'm worried. I'm worried for a second now. Because the recoil from this Flare Blitz is definitely going to take us out. So the grass disappears, which is great. Well, not really. That was healing us. Let's go for a Flare Blitz. It's the best move to go for. They do withdraw. Are they going to go the Alomomola? Atramola. That's the Alomomola. So that is fair enough. That is fair enough. They're going to get caught in sticky webs, which is great. We're going to get a nice Flare Blitz off on them. And the recoil won't take us out, which is great. It shouldn't take us out. Nearly does, though. And now we go for a Dragon Claw to get as much damage off on this Alomomola as possible. So there we go. Dragon Claw comes through. They go for a Scold. That's going to definitely take us out. And it all comes down to this. Can Alolan Ninetales pull the game back for us? That is the main thing. So I think Alolan Ninetales can do it. So I'm going to bring Alolan Ninetales in. There we go. Alolan Ninetales KOs pretty much everything on the team right now. I am going to go for the Aurora Veil because I'm predicting them going to switch here. Because I don't think Freeze Dry KOs Volcarona from where it's at. So I definitely want it to be prepared more. So they're going to bring in the Iron Valiant once again. Which is fair enough. We get an Aurora Veil up. Now we can Moonblast this thing into Oblivion. Because we outspeed... No, they have FG boots, don't they? But now we can take a hit from it better. So let's go for a Moonblast. They are going to withdraw. What are they going to go into? They're going to go Atramola, which is the Alomomola. So that's fair enough. Are they really timer stalling right now? They're not timer stalling, surely. Surely not. So we go for a Moonblast. Does a lot of damage. We then go for a Freeze Drive, despite the fact that they're probably going to switch out. Now they're going to withdraw again. What are they going to go into? The Iron Valiant? The Iron Valiant again. So we know what they're doing. They're stalling for time. But Freeze Dry is taking this thing out. We get to go for another Freeze Dry here and definitely take them out. So I think we can win this still. So they go for a Moonblast. That's going to sting a little bit. Does it lower our special attack? No, it doesn't. That's great. As Freeze Dry comes through, and that's going to take out the Iron Valiant. So with Iron Valiant out of the way, Alomomola and our Volcarona friend over there can definitely be taken care of, which is great. So in comes Master, the reliable partner, the Volcarona. We should be able to do a lot of damage with Freeze Dry. I don't know if it KOs. But it's our only option, so we're going to have to do it. We'll go for a Freeze Dry. Hopefully it gets a KO. Doesn't quite get the KO, but they go for a more... So they don't have Grass Stab. Interesting. So they don't have Grass Stab. But the snow was up, so they are going to lose more health. So the Aurora Veil does wear off, but we still outspeed. And this should KO now because they can't recover as much HP with the Morning Sun in the snow. Freeze Dry comes through. Alolan Ninetales pulling through for us, as now this should be child's play to take care of this Alomomola. So down goes the Volcarona, which is fantastic. What a close game. And it all came down to Ninetales. Ninetales just absolutely annihilated my opponent right there. So in comes the Alomomola. Nice and powerful. Gotta love it. Sticky Webs are going to go into effect. And all we need is one Freeze Dry. That's all we need. Freeze Dry. Come on through. Freeze Dry comes through. Boom. Doesn't quite take them out as they go for a Wish now. Have they got Protect as well? I bet they've got Protect. No, we haven't. So there we go. We go for a Freeze Dry. Take out Alomomola. And that's going to be the game with 2 seconds to spare. We get a crit as well, which is nice. So that is going to be the game. GG right there. That was a pretty fun one. I did enjoy that one. But anyway, here is the team. Try it out if you want. Use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.